On today's show, we'll tell you everything about the Dianna Russini situation that the pathetic lamestream media is too afraid to say.
Let's go. Roll the intro.
Producer, don't you know what roll the intro means?
I'm going to intro you to my fist, you
All right.
Yo, yo, yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the #1 rated Paulie and Tony Fusco show.
Yo, yo, yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Very important show today. In fact, today
yeah.
we are bringing you a special report.
Yup.
Disaster for Dianna.
Disaster for Dianna.
That's right. We will be unpacking every angle of this Dianna Russini, Mike Vrabel situation, including Dianna's shocking but also totally expected resignation from The Athletic. And, we're going to tell you why she clearly should have kept her job and everybody else there should have lost their job,
100%.
And also later in the show, as you know, we're known worldwide for our women's basketball analysis, of course. Well, we're going to explore the WNBA draft and tell you what these teams got right and wrong.
Yup, we're going to get to all of that.
Yeah, on the subject of wrong, one housekeeping note. Last week we told you something that we couldn't believe, right? That our average watch time on YouTube, they said it was 9 minutes. Well, because we told you, clearly our idiot producer back there.
He's not doing his job.
He wasn't uploading the full video.
No.
Well, we got even worse news this week, didn't we, Tony? Our watch time for the last video dropped to 4 minutes.
What's going on?
Clearly, our producer is now just uploading half of the video.
What are you even doing?
What are you doing?
No, I'm uploading the full video. It's not my problem that people turn it off.
Well,
no.
You're an expert at turning things off. Women. Oh,
exactly. In fact,
now
shut up, producer. You out there listening to this, watching this, do us a favor. When this video gets past 4 minutes, just leave us a comment.
Yeah,
tell
right.
us.
I'm here 4 minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah. And who will never be 4 minutes in? Our producer with a woman. No sex.
Exactly.
Just to beat that drum. He's already upset.
Exactly right.
Anyway, yeah, you be upset. You're terrible at your job.
Look at him. He's sulking already. Good.
Anyway, it's time for us to get into our special report, Disaster for Dianna.
Disaster for Dianna.
All right, as we told you up top, NFL reporter, insider Dianna Russini has resigned from her position at The Athletic after these photos came out of her holding hands, hugging, canoodling, and doing everything but having open public sex with Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, she should have lost her job, and this was the right thing to do. And, well, I totally disagree with this move. Don't you, Tony?
100%. What's the #1 job of every NFL insider? To get the inside info. 100%. Well, there's no better way to do that than by fucking an NFL head coach. Dianna Russini not only deserves her job back, she deserves a Pulitzer Prize. If I was the editor of The Athletic, I would be bringing Dianna Russini back and encouraging her to have sex with as many head coaches as possible. Think of how much info she would get. In fact, I'd be hiring more female reporters so I can cover all 30 teams and make sure all my reporters are sleeping with every coach in the NFL. Think of how much great information you'd get. Although, of course, you'd probably have trouble finding someone to cover the Chiefs and, maybe the Steelers, but they'll figure that out.
There's got to be someone out there, Tony.
Of course.
And subscriptions would be through the roof, Frankly, if anyone looks bad in all this, to me, it's people like Mina Kimes,
100%.
She, to me, apparently isn't having sex with anyone in the entire NFL. It sounds like she's totally faithful to her husband. I mean, where's she getting her info? I mean,
unbelievable.
Now when I see her talking football, I'm like, well, she's not putting in the work,
Exactly. That's what I think, too. And, this just shows that people at The Athletic don't know how to make content. Because, again, if I was the editor, I would be hiring a camera crew to follow Dianna Russini as she covers all the teams and attempts to sleep with their head coaches. That way you get the inside behind the scenes look at all those teams, just like on Hard Knocks. But instead of calling it Hard Knocks, You call it hard cocks. You see, there you go. $1 billion idea right there.
You should be running The Athletic, Tony, because that's
Absolutely.
a terrific idea.
Thank
you. Another business thing, The Athletic is owned by the New York Times, Well, if I'm the New York Times, I'd be hiring Dianna Russini today. Can you imagine the scoop she'd get if you sent her to Russia, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia, all those places? She'd be the world's greatest reporter,
I've been saying the same thing all week. If I'm the New York Times and the United States government, I'm sending Dianna Russini to go sleep with Putin and whoever that guy is in Iran. Just think of that inside information we'd get. America would win all the wars and they'd be over tomorrow. In fact, we should probably send her to have sex with our producer so he'd be less angry. But you know what? Actually, come to think of it, that's probably too much to ask of her. It's too much. It's too much.
The first two I was okay with, but
me
that
too,
one maybe a little too
it's too
far.
much to ask.
Frank, I just got to say, I don't see a problem with anything Dianna Russini did here.
No.
People say that you won't be able to trust Dianna Russini's reporting anymore.
Please.
Well, of course you can.
Of course.
Because now she got her info directly from the source himself.
Exactly.
In fact, when she says she's in contact with certain members of NFL teams, well, she's actually in contact with their members,
literally with their penises. In fact, I owe Dianna Russini an apology because a couple of years ago, I accused her of reporting bad info. It was back when Mike Vrabel was still coaching the Titans. She reported that the Titans had the biggest sacks of any team in the NFL. And I was like, what's she talking about? The Titans don't even have a top 10 defense. That's just bad reporting. But now I know what she meant by that. And also when she said they threw the deepest balls. And also when she said that their defense had the best packages.
In fact, I need to apologize too here because a couple years ago, I remember Dianna Russini, she said she was very impressed with a Johnson on the Titans. And I thought, there's nobody even named Johnson on the whole team. But of course, now it all makes sense.
Now we know exactly. Mea culpa. Our apologies. And I also got to say, people are saying that this whole thing shows Dianna Russini has bad journalistic judgment.
No.
If anything, it does the opposite. I mean, out of all the NFL head coaches, she chose to cover the head coach of the Patriots. That shows she knows football. She knew that was where she needed to do her reporting. If she was having sex with the head coach of boring, useless teams like the Cardinals or the Falcons and definitely the Saints, then I'd be questioning her judgment.
You bring up a great point there, Tony, because I got to say, I do wonder if Dianna Russini wasn't just working for The Athletic, because when you look at it, to me, it seems she was clearly working for the Seahawks, They're the only team that beat the Patriots in the playoffs.
It's true.
If anybody should be investigating anything here, it's the Seahawks. In fact, my sources did tell me, Tony, that in early February, they were in a hotel room in New England off of one of the interstates there, and they could have sworn that they heard a woman's voice that sounded like Dianna Russini say, "Slam me with the package like you're going to put on Sam Darnold and tell me whether it's a nickel or dime." Well, it had to be her, It
had to be her. And, can I go back to Dianna Russini's judgment for just a moment? Because if she really wanted to show her dedication to football journalism, then instead of having a relationship with Mike Vrabel, it would have been much better if she had sex with Andy Reid. Think about it. If she would have had sex with Andy Reid, the narrative would have been totally different. People would be lauding her commitment to journalism. They'd be saying, that's so admirable to be having sex with that giant half walrus just in the name of journalism.
Seriously, that would be award-winning journalism there,
It
Tony.
would.
And you do bring up a good point again, because what nobody's talking about here? The win for Nick Sirianni.
100%.
When you line up all the coaches, it's clear he's the most successful and also the most handsome out of all of them.
By far.
You got to believe that Dianna Russini only went to Mike Vrabel after she was rejected by Nick Sirianni.
100%.
Because as we all know, Tony, you and I, we heard in 2017, she requested a one-on-one with Nick Foles right before the Super Bowl. And she was very disappointed and angry when it turned out to be just an interview,
I heard the same thing too. But in all this, there should be some blame on Mike Vrabel too. I mean, Vrabel has ruined the Patriots' reputation because we all know their reputation is that they're the best at cheating. Well,
not anymore.
You know what? Not anymore. And I mean, you'd think a Patriots coach of all people would know to be on the lookout for cameras. And, and also the Patriots knew that if you're going to do anything with a woman, at least be smart enough to do it in the back of an Asian massage parlor inside a low-rent strip mall in Florida. But Vrabel just didn't do any of that.
Yeah, he wasn't following the Patriot way.
No, he wasn't. And can I just say, in all of this, I need to say shame on the rest of the media because we still have zero proof that Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini were carrying on a physical relationship. That's why, as a member of the media, I am insisting that someone provide evidence of that relationship, whether it be a videotape or nude bathroom selfie in front of a mirror or, one of those shots from across the street where the camera can see through the curtains and you can see people doing it, even though it's kind of dark and a little blurry. Until someone provides that evidence to me directly through my WhatsApp or Telegram or preferably on DVD in my P.O. box in the post office on 38th and Spruce, the second mailbox in third row from the left nearest the bathroom, I am not believing they had a sexual relationship.
Just so well said there, Tony. I totally second all of that. In fact, if you do provide a DVD copy, my mailbox is on the right of Tony's, just one over. But great journalism and commitment to journalism by you. On that note, I must bring up a terrific tweet we just saw from former ESPN personality Jemele Hill. She wrote, "I'll say this, while the photos raised questions, if male insiders were held to a similar standard of ethics, none of them would exist." And well, she does have a point there, Tony, doesn't she?
Absolutely. In fact, I got my hands on some very incriminating photos of Adam Schefter. Here he is at a hotel pool in Los Angeles holding hands with Sean McVay.
Wow.
And this one here is from a couple of months back. Adam Schefter holding hands in a hotel sauna in Denver with Sean Payton.
Wow.
And in this one, this was him at a hotel pool in Kansas City. Adam Schefter, look, licking whipped cream off Andy Reid's erect nipple.
Wow.
And that's not even the most explosive one. The most explosive one, watch this, in bed with Mike Vrabel, wrapped in white hotel towels, sharing what appears to be a post-sex cigarette.
Wow.
And next to them, Dianna Russini off to the side, looking angry and maybe a little left out.
Just explosive photos there. Expect Adam Schefter to hand in his resignation anytime now. And one last thing we do have to say about this. Skip Bayless came out, and he said that a lot of hosts in our industry of sports talk have relationships with players and coaches. He called them out, and he said that the players and coaches give these hosts info, and well, in return, the hosts go easy on those players and coaches when they do something wrong. And well, we want to take this opportunity, don't we, Tony, to assure you, our loyal audience out there, that Tony and I would never stoop to anything like that. We always maintain the highest degree of journalistic integrity, don't we, Tony?
Absolutely. We want to assure you that, yes, while we do have personal relationships with players and coaches across the league, we never let that compromise the integrity of our reporting.
Nope.
Just ask my dear friend, A.J. Brown, who is, I just have to say, one of the greatest players in the league and a total asset to the Eagles organization. And Wait, let me just check my phone here, my notes here. I forgot to add, he's also very happy to stay with the Eagles and doesn't want to get traded to some crap bullshit team like the Saints or Cardinals. And make sure you say that next time you're on air, Tony, or no more free tickets for you, you freeloader. Well, you know what? I wasn't supposed to.
Just
forget the
just
last
edit
part.
that out, okay?
Edit
Just,
that out.
Don't worry,
edit
Tony,
that out.
he'll
But you
take
see
that
what I'm
out.
talking about.
But
Take it
hold
out.
on, producer. When you're editing that, leave the rest of the episode, okay? Just to make
don't
sure
cut
you're
it off
full.
at 4 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And by the way, on that note, we are past the 4-minute point in this recording,
Yup,
Tony.
we
so
are.
Hopefully you out there, the audience, hopefully you're seeing this.
Yup, and
listening
you're
to
letting
this.
us know.
So, do us a favor because we have to monitor our producer's work. Just leave a comment on the YouTube.
7 minutes in.
I can see you now.
8
or something
minutes
like
in.
that.
We're still there. 10 minutes.
We got to keep track of this guy's work.
Yeah, we got to
or
keep track of
non-work.
you, the viewer, too.
Yeah, we got to keep track of you, the viewer.
Yeah.
All of you not working.
All
anyway.
of you. Yep.
All right. That wraps up our special report, Disaster for Dianna. When we come back, it's our full expert WNBA draft analysis. Okay, we're back from break. And as you all know, people in the business, that people come to us for our expert women's basketball analysis.
Of course.
We've had some big brand deals, millions spent on
Millions.
segments. And we did this last year, Tony, very popular segment after
Big
the
success.
WNBA draft, where we look at all the players drafted and we give you our evaluation, which people want to hear. So that's why we're going to do a segment right now called Would or Wouldn't.
Would or wouldn't?
Okay, so this is how this is going to work. You're going to put up a photo so we can see who we're talking about, producer, and then we're going to evaluate that player. Okay, so put up this first one. This is Ozzy Fudd. Tony, I got to say, this is for me a total would.
Slam dunk would. Yup. I
Slam
can
dunk
see
would.
why she's the first overall pick. 100%
I can see just on this picture why she went first overall. Just
Right
a lot
there.
of talent by her.
Absolutely.
That's definitely a would. Okay, let's go to this next photo here. This is Gabriela Jaquez.
Okay.
She's at a UCLA, and Tony, I gotta say, this is another would.
Another solid
me.
would for me. Absolutely.
She kind of reminds me of Brooke Shields mixed with Bill Walton.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Yeah, so that's
it's a
a would
solid
for me.
wood for me.
That's a solid wood. Okay, let's go to this next one. Okay, this is Kiki Rice. And you can see very talented dresser, got that curly
good
hair
style there.
I gotta go wood as well, Tony.
Yeah, wood, 100% wood.
And you gotta like that name Kiki too.
Oh, great name. Absolutely.
Guys.
Are you kidding me? We're in the middle of a segment.
Yeah, the segment has nothing to do with the analysis of their skills.
What do you mean?
What are you implying?
You're saying that if you would or wouldn't sleep with them.
Well, that's not what's happening at all. We're clearly saying, would we or wouldn't we draft them to our own roster?
Exactly.
Get your head out of the gutter
that's
there,
disgusting,
buddy.
and that's offensive. How dare you?
How dare you?
In this day and age.
This is what it feels like to be Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel, with having people just assume the worst.
We want to apologize to all our female viewers who are offended by
don't interrupt this segment because we have more we got to see here.
Yeah, we got more. Be quiet.
Put up that next one.
Put up the next one.
All right, this is Lauren Betts, Tony. Also out of UCLA, and you just look at that. Truly talented, you can see.
So talented. Now
Very
you can
talented.
see why UCLA won the whole thing. What a roster.
Because you can see the legs and that height.
Wow.
And there
definitely
you go.
would.
See, producer,
100%
we are evaluating
would.
her skills.
You see, that's
there you
basketball analysis, dummy.
All right.
No, there's nothing on the court.
You know what?
You don't even know stats.
You're a hater.
Yeah,
you're a hater. And he doesn't know women's basketball either.
He doesn't know. He's jealous.
He doesn't know anything regarding women.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably never even met a woman.
Fine, here, one more. This is Olivia Miles, Notre Dame. Let me guess. You probably wouldn't draft her.
Well, I did hear she's got character issues.
I
off the
I
court.
heard that too. She's got a little character issues,
Yep.
Maybe belongs on another team,
Yep, not for us.
So unfortunately, you see, that would have to be a wouldn't.
That's a wouldn't, yeah.
Look, he's bringing down this whole segment there. He's bringing
Let's
down
just
the whole
wrap it.
show.
You
and
ruined it
everybody's
already.
energy. Just wrap it. I can't.
Just wrap the
you got
segment.
everybody's head in the gutter because of you.
Again.
Because otherwise it was a perfect show. Hey, don't forget, you go to the merch store. And you buy,
Wait.
oh,
You
no,
buy-
he doesn't.
he's still talking.
Talk about wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't
Corrections.
be alive. What?
What? Just go.
Corrections.
Go. What?
You said it's good that Dianna Russini might have had an intimate relationship with Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, she was getting that inside info.
It's called journalism, bro.
Yeah.
If you actually studied journalism, you would know that having an intimate relationship with someone you're covering could totally compromise the integrity of anyone's reporting.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what I'm going to be covering? You in gasoline and then lighting a match.
Yeah. Here's a report. This just in. You're a douchebag. Oh, now shut
Great
up.
one, Tony.
No.
Yeah,
He's
he's
still
done.
talking.
Oh, he's still
What?
talking. What?
You said there are 30 teams in the NFL.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, learn to count, bro.
Yeah.
You don't know how to count. You missed 2 of them. There are 32 teams, not 30. How can you guys talk NFL and not know how many teams there are?
You know what you're missing 2 of? Balls.
Yeah. You know what I won't miss? Your head when I shoot at it. Oh, you're
Can't wait
done.
for that. Great one,
Yeah,
Tony.
we're done. Let's
No,
get out of
what?
here.
Go,
Oh,
just go. What?
You mentioned the country Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, bro.
This isn't a geography show, bro.
No,
Yeah.
if it were, you'd know that Czechoslovakia doesn't exist anymore. It's now split into 2 countries, the Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Oh, yeah, well, you're going to check into the emergency room after I stab you.
Yeah. And you know what else doesn't exist? Your penis. Oh, you're
Great
done.
one, Tony.
So
But you know what's even greater, Tony? I just got some news across my screen here.
What's
just
that?
booked on the show for next week?
Who?
Super Bowl hero, Eagles legend Nick Foles will be here.
Wow, that's
Hey,
huge.
Don't forget, assuming you can even hear this part of the show
Yup.
right now.
Exactly.
Remember to comment, leave your comment.
Write a
and visit
comment.
the merch store, rate
Yup.
and review this
5
show
stars.
on Apple Podcasts. You
Yup.
give it 5 stars. And you know who gets 5 stars, Tony? You. Because you did a great job, as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.